I was not planning to become a wedding photographer. In fact, to be honest, I was afraid of Indian weddings. For like, you need talent for photography, but the talent, that photography talent, you acquire not from photography, you acquire from something else.
So if I'm not wrong, మీరు wedding ki 10 lakhs a day charge చేస్తారు. How do you get such high paying clients?
That's a good rumor. That's a nice rumor. I want that rumor to spread more, and so that I don't have to tell anyone.
So from the time మీ quote accept అయిన దగ్గర నుంచి till the delivery of the end product, what is usually the workflow?
You have to attend like a 5 days workshop for this.
Do you consume alcohol in a wedding?
ఇదొద్దు. 99.99% of the photographers think that photography is taking the camera and shooting, right? The photography doesn't end there.
Welcome to the 4th episode of KTwithTK. So today we have Amar Ramesh, who's a Sony Brand Ambassador and one of the top 5 wedding photographers in India. ఫోటోగ్రఫీలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి లేదా ఫోటోగ్రఫీ అంటే ప్యాషన్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఈ పాడ్కాస్ట్ ఒక మస్ట్ వాచ్. ఈ ఎపిసోడ్లో అమర్ ఒక ఫోటోగ్రఫర్ ఎలా డిసిప్లిన్గా వర్క్ చేయాలి, తన క్లయింట్స్తో ఎలా డీల్ చేయాలి, వర్క్ ఫ్లో ఎలా మేనేజ్ చేయాలి అండ్ తనను ఎలా మార్కెట్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఇలాంటి ఎన్నో ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్స్ని కవర్ చేశారు. మీ ఫోటోగ్రఫీ ప్యాషన్ని నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్ తీసుకెళ్ళడానికి ఈ పాడ్కాస్ట్ని తప్పకుండా లాస్ట్ దాకా చూడండి. And yes, don't forget to subscribe to KTwithTK. Thank you so much, Amar, for accepting my invitation and coming to the podcast all the way from Chennai. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I should thank you, man. I should thank you. I always feel when somebody is doing something, అది వచ్చి అంత సీరియస్గా తీసుకొని అంత డెడికేషన్తో, like you've been with me since yesterday, from like taking care of everything for me. So you're putting your money, you're putting your time, you're putting your effort. So I wish all the great success for you.
Thank you so much.
And I wish let's make this so useful for people.
Just to kickstart the conversation, మీ జర్నీ becoming a wedding photographer మాతో షేర్ చేస్తారా?
Okay, so middle class family, studies, education is the escape. అలాగే education is the important thing. So I studied really well. సో చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి బాగా చదవాలి అని పేరెంట్స్ పుష్ చేశారు. లైక్ ఐ స్టడీడ్ వెల్, డిడ్ రియలీ వెల్. స్టడీడ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ అయినాక యూఎస్లో మాస్టర్స్ చేశాను, లైక్ మెరిట్లో మాస్టర్స్ చేశాను. అండ్ మాస్టర్స్ చేసి అక్కడ ఐ వాజ్ వర్కింగ్ ఇన్ ఐటీ. అండ్ వైల్ ఐ వాజ్ డూయింగ్ వర్కింగ్ ఇన్ ఐటీ, ఐ డిడ్ ఫర్ 8 years. సో టోటలీ ఐ వాజ్ దేర్ ఫర్ 10 years. So while I was doing my work, so I was traveling a lot in US. So I wanted a camera to urke elli just explore things. So దాని కోసం ఒక చిన్న కెమెరా కొన్నాను. Then I started taking pictures and all my friends kept saying, hey, your pictures are amazing, you have some special eye, so why don't you take this seriously? So అప్పుడు నాకు ఒక ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వచ్చింది. అలాగా I started studying more, ఇంకా స్టార్టెడ్ ఎక్స్ప్లోరింగ్ మోర్. దెన్ ఆ ఎగ్జైట్మెంట్ ఉంటుంది కదా, ఆ ఎగ్జైట్మెంట్ బికేమ్, ఆ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ నుంచి అలాగే ఎగ్జైట్మెంట్ వచ్చింది, ఎగ్జైట్మెంట్ నుంచి అలాగా ప్యాషన్ వచ్చింది, ప్యాషన్ నుంచి అలాగా అబ్సెషన్ అయిపోయింది. దాని తర్వాత ఐ సెడ్ దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు డూ ఇన్ లైఫ్. ఎలాగ అంటే డబ్బులు కొంచెం తక్కువగా వస్తే కూడా పర్వాలేదు, నేను వచ్చి ఇది చేయాలని. సో ఐ క్విట్, కేమ్ బ్యాక్ టు ఇండియా. Wanting to explore temples, wanting to shoot a lot of temples. I wanted to do a business with temples pictures. So I came for that. And luck, fate, the universe's plan was different. అంటే మనం ఒక ప్లాన్ చేస్తాము, యూనివర్స్ మనకి ఒక ప్లాన్ ఉంటుంది కదా. సో one person called me and said she's getting married and she wanted me to come take the pictures for the wedding.
Your first assignment?
That's the first assignment. I was not planning to become a wedding photographer. In fact, to be honest, I was afraid of Indian weddings. Indian weddings వచ్చి chaoticగా ఉంటుంది, చాలా మంది ఉంటారు, ఎలాగా. అండ్ దెన్ అప్పుడు 2010లో వచ్చి నేను మాస్టర్స్ చదువున్నాను యూఎస్లో. ఎలాగ నేను వచ్చి వెడ్డింగ్ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్గా కెన్ ఐ గో షూట్, అలా అంతా చాలా భయం ఉన్నింది. బట్ గోయింగ్ అండ్ షూటింగ్ దట్ ఫస్ట్ వెడ్డింగ్ చేంజ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. సో ఆ బ్రైడ్ వచ్చి వాట్ షీ డిడ్ వాజ్, బికాస్ షీ పేడ్ అ గుడ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ, షీ సెడ్, hey, I'm going to put you in a train, not in a flight, and you have to come stay with us, with the family.
Okay.
So అప్పుడు వాళ్ళతో స్టే చేసేప్పుడు I felt really, really good. They treated me like their own son, brother, their own family. So I was there for 5-6 days with them. I was one of them. So నాకు వచ్చి I simply fell in love with that wedding, and then I shot the wedding, and then it became viral. Then అప్పటి నుంచి అలాగా next wedding kept coming. So I became this, and now today I'm in front of you.
సో మీరు ఇనిషియల్ వెడ్డింగ్ ఫోటోగ్రఫీ చేసేటప్పుడు హూ వాజ్ యువర్ ఇన్స్పిరేషన్? whom did you take as an inspiration to start your work?
See, initially there was no one person or two person. There was actually hundreds of people. Very very honest. I'm not saying ఊరికే చెప్పాలని చెప్పట్లేదు. Just the best thing about starting out is you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time for education. You have a lot of time for exploring. You have a lot of time to spend on your search, right? But as you grow older, or as you grow bigger, and as you go more successful, you know, the biggest impact ఏమవుతుందంటే ఆ టైం తగ్గిపోతుంది. ఆ స్టడీస్కి టైం తగ్గిపోతుంది, ఆ ఎడ్యుకేషన్కి వచ్చి టైం తగ్గిపోతుంది. I still miss the amount of time that I had for educating myself appudu. So there was no one person. I was literally getting inspired from so many people. So Jennifer Thai ani oka wedding photographer, I worked under her appudu US lo. So she was my first person. Then Ma Weston ani inkoka.
What genre was she shooting?
She was just going from photojournalism to weddings.
Okay.
So appudu she was just starting out. So I was able to learn a lot of things about the business, about to start a new wedding photography business adanta. Not only the photography itself. And then there was another person, Mar Weston ani.
Okay.
He was very good at printing pictures. So I used to spend a lot of time in his lab. So that is how I still love printing my pictures. That came from him.
Okay.
And then Ansel Adam నుంచి, Henry Carter Bresson నుంచి, Chase Jarvis అని, there was a very good photographer in Seattle. I was in Seattle అప్పుడు.
Okay.
So ఆయన Raghurai is my biggest inspiration. Steve McCurry, Ansel Adams. So I used, like, the best thing about when I started was there was a website called Flickr. So Flickr వచ్చి is like social media for photographers alone. Like Instagram లో ఉన్న అందరినీ తీసి ఓన్లీ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్స్ పెడితే ఎలా అవుతుంది Instagram అలాగా. It's not so active now. So but I started in Flickr, so it was very nice for me. So I was only sharing and talking and learning about photography in that social media, right? So I got introduced to lots and lots of people. So my inspiration came from lots and lots of people. And not only that, see, I recently read somewhere, Ansel Adams said, hey, for like, you need talent for photography, but the talent, that photography talent, you acquire not from photography, you acquire from something else. Right? You go visit museums. See, I can easily put up question in this room, right? Or in Hyderabad, how many photographers are there? In that, how many photographers have gone to Salajang Museum or any museums in, like, we have some amazing museums here, right? How many people have gone? How many people have read books? Like, when you read some nice fiction books, you are actually transported to a different world, right? Our world, you set the setting, you set the hero heroine, you set the background. You said the garden, ఆ గార్డెన్ ఎలా ఉండాలి, ఆ బ్యాక్ డ్రాప్ ఎలా ఉండాలి, you said it, right? So your mind starts wavering and mind starts working, and that is where the ideas come. So in fact, yes, you get inspired from a lot of photographers, but you also get inspired from lots of other things. It could be life, it could be like just standing in an airport. Yesterday we were there in airport, right? Like, how many people are coming and hugging and crying and smiling. So many emotions are getting exchanged there, right? So you get inspired by that. So maybe when you're posing a couple, oh, this is how you have to make them pose, right? This is how real couples actually hug each other or you know, miss each other. So everywhere there is inspiration. So, and when you're starting out, it's a great place to be because you have a lot of time. See, most of my time goes in office, operations, resources, all this, right? Like, imagine when I was alone 10 years back or 15 years back, I had all the time to study. So I got inspired from so many people. And in fact, I would say your inspiration should not be one person, it should be 100 people. If you ask somebody who are your inspiration, you should not say one person, you should say like 100 people, and without even thinking. So I was inspired by so many people.
సో ఫ్రమ్ ద టైమ్ మీరు ఒకరిని చూసి ఇన్స్పైర్ అయ్యే టైం నుంచి ఇప్పుడు మిమ్మల్ని చూసి వందల మంది ఇన్స్పైర్ అవుతున్నారు. సో హౌ డస్ దట్ ఫీల్?
See, it's a blessing. I'm super grateful for it. It's a see, I did photography, or I came into photography not thinking that I'll become one day inspiration for so many people. అలాగంతా ఏం లేదు. I wanted to enjoy, I wanted to be happy, photography made me really happy. సో చాలా సంతోషంగా, చాలా మంచిగా వచ్చి చేయాలని I came into photography. Then ఇప్పుడు ఆఫ్టర్ అ వైల్, ఇప్పుడు చాలామంది వచ్చి సార్ మీ వర్క్ ఇన్స్పైరింగ్ ఉంది, నేను చాలా నేర్చుకుంటున్నాను మీ దగ్గర నుంచి అలా చెప్పేటప్పుడు, ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ యాక్చువల్లీ స్కేరింగ్ మీ. ఒక భయం వస్తుంది. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ టు డూ బెటర్. ఎందుకంటే చాలామంది చూస్తున్నారు, చాలామంది లెర్న్ చేస్తున్నారు దీని నుంచి. సో ఇంకా ఇట్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ గివింగ్ మీ అ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ. And also I see that as a blessing. I'm like super grateful for it. So now, because so many people are coming and saying, I take that as a responsibility. Oh, elaga, how can I inspire more people, or how can I touch more people through my work? Not only through my work. See, when I'm going and shooting a wedding, I'm not only going as a wedding photographer, I'm not only going as Amar Ramesh, right? I'm actually going as a representative of this entire wedding photography community, because they all look up to me, right? So it adds a lot of fear in one way, and also a responsibility in another way. So now I am representing this entire community. What can I do for this community, right? Like from dressing up well to behaving well to speaking well. I want to improve the perception of people. ఒకళ్ళు వచ్చి వెడ్డింగ్ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్ అని చూస్తున్నారంటే, ఆ వెడ్డింగ్ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్ చూపు ఉంది కదా, ఆ పర్సెప్షన్ ఉంది కదా, దాన్ని ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయాలి. ఒక వెడ్డింగ్ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్కి ఒక రెస్పెక్ట్ రావాలి.
So you are a Sony brand ambassador, right? So as a brand ambassador, what advantages do you get వేరే photographers తో పోల్చుకుంటే, and how does one become a Sony brand ambassador or some other brand's brand ambassador?
It's interesting. I'll ask you this. Why do you want to become a brand ambassador?
I don't have an answer for that.
Exactly. There are so many people out there sitting in front of the computer and saying, hey, Amar, Sony brand ambassador. Joseph Radhik, Sony brand ambassador. వాళ్ళు మాత్రం బ్రాండ్ అంబాసిడర్ అవుతున్నారు. అలా కదా. సో ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ మీ ఆర్ జోసెఫ్ ఆర్ ఎనీ బ్రాండ్ అంబాసిడర్, ఫర్ ద రీజన్ దే డిడ్ంట్ గో అండ్ అప్రోచ్ Sony, right? I didn't sit and type an email saying that Sony, I'm here, come get me as a brand ambassador, right? You kept doing good work. Joseph kept doing good work. I kept doing good work. And every other brand ambassador doing good work. So Sony came and made them brand ambassador, right? So that is how you will become a brand ambassador. You have to keep doing good work. You have to keep putting your good work out. People will follow you. People will constantly, then you become a voice in the market, right? Then the companies wants those voices, right? That is how you become. So how do you become brand ambassador? Do amazing work, do crazy work, put them out, talk about that work. Then when you get a voice, the company will automatically come to you, right? One thing I always believe is, if you keep on going and selling your work, no, people will take you for a ride. But when people come to you, you put your things, you can put your terms, you can put your things. It becomes easy for you to sell.
That is where your value increases.
Yes. So don't sit there and say, hey, వాళ్ళు బ్రాండ్ అంబాసిడర్ అయిపోయారు, నేను బ్రాండ్ అంబాసిడర్ ఎలా కావాలి, అలా కాదు. Concentrate on the work, right? Instead of seeing, oh, Amar Ramesh is a brand ambassador there, or so Joseph is a brand ambassador there, tell yourself, how can I do amazing pictures better than Joseph, or amazing pictures better than Amar, amazing pictures better than anybody else, or how can I become an amazing voice better than what Joseph or Amar? Sony will automatically come to you, or any brand will come to you.
సో ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ రాంగ్ మీరు వెడ్డింగ్కి 10 lakhs a day ఛార్జ్ చేస్తారు. హౌ డూ యూ గెట్ సచ్ హై పేయింగ్ క్లయింట్స్? 10 lakhs per day is a huge amount, right?
See, that's a good rumor. That's a nice rumor. I want that rumor to spread more, and so that I don't have to tell anyone. It is the same thing that anyone will say, even if you say 3,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakhs rupees, any amount, or even 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, the same reaction will happen. So I'll ask you a question. If your sister is getting married, okay, you want to hire a photographer, okay, and the photographer is coming and telling 1x amount, what will you tell him? రే నేను వచ్చి తరుణ్, నాకు వచ్చి ఆల్రెడీ బ్రాండ్ ఉంది, నా సిస్టర్ వెడ్డింగ్ చేసావంటే యూ విల్ గెట్ లాట్ మోర్ వెడ్డింగ్స్, సో రెడ్యూస్ ద ప్రైస్. రే ఎందుకురా, నేను ఫోటోగ్రఫీలో ఉన్నాను, నాకు తెలుసు ఎంత అవుతుంది, ఎందుకు ఇంత ప్రైస్ చెప్తున్నావు, రెడ్యూస్ ద ప్రైస్, రైట్? నెగోషియేటింగ్, రైట్? ఎనీథింగ్. ఇదేదో నేను క్లయింట్స్ చెప్తారు, ఆ క్లయింట్స్ వచ్చి 3,000 క్లయింట్స్ అలాగే చెప్తారు, 5,000 క్లయింట్స్ అలాగే చెప్తారు, 10,000 క్లయింట్స్ అలాగే చెప్తారు, 1 lakh చెప్తారు, 10 lakhs చెప్తారు, అలాగే చెప్తారు. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ద సేమ్. సి ఆల్వేస్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ డిస్బిలీఫ్ దట్ పీపుల్ దే థింక్, ఓ ఇప్పుడు వచ్చి ఒక ఖమ్మంలో ఉండే ఫోటోగ్రఫర్ విల్ థింక్, ఈ హైదరాబాద్లో ఉండే ఫోటోగ్రఫర్ మాత్రం వాళ్ళకి మాత్రం మంచి క్లయింట్స్ ఉన్నారు, మనకి లేదు. హైదరాబాద్ వాడు ఏం చేస్తాడు, నన్ను చూసి చెన్నైలో ఉండే వాళ్ళకి మంచి క్లయింట్స్ ఉన్నారు, మనకి లేదు, ఇలా కాదు, అక్కడంతా వేరేలాగా క్లయింట్స్. దట్ చెన్నై ఫోటోగ్రఫర్ విల్ థింక్ దట్ ఈ బాంబే ఉంటే వాళ్ళ క్లయింట్స్ అంతా సూపర్, మన క్లయింట్స్ అంతే లైక్ దే ఇమీడియట్లీ అగ్రీ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. 5 lakhs చెప్తే ఇమీడియట్గా అగ్రెస్ చేస్తారు, 10 lakhs చెప్తే. బాంబే వాడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు, న్యూయార్క్ వచ్చేసి డిఫరెంట్ మార్కెట్ మ్యాన్, ఐ వాంట్ మూవ్ టు న్యూయార్క్, ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ వర్క్ హియర్. సో ఎవ్రీబడి థింక్స్ దట్ ద అదర్ జాగ్రఫీలో క్లయింట్స్ వచ్చి డ్రీమీ, ఐడియల్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్. అలా కాదు, ఎవ్రీవేర్ ఇట్ ఇస్ ద సేమ్, ఎవ్రీ లెవెల్ ఆల్సో ఇట్ ఇస్ ద సేమ్, రైట్? ద సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ దట్ యూ ఆస్క్డ్, we also get asked. The same question I asked, Joseph also get asked. Any other photographer also get asked, right? And it is the same questions that you will also ask as a client.
True.
Right? So it is not like, oh, elaga opkuntunnaru, and more so if you think about it, ఇప్పుడు వచ్చే క్లయింట్స్ కంతా ఆల్రెడీ దే నో వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ప్రైస్, ఆల్రెడీ దే నో. You don't have to tell them what their price is, right? What your price is, you don't have to tell them. The clients are so educated about the market that they know who's charging what they're giving, what are the deliverables, how many photographers they send. They know everything.
So they come with a price set in their mind.
Yeah, they already know. Like if I'm doing 50 weddings a year, 45 of the weddings they have decided I am the photographer ఎప్పుడు కాలేజ్ వెళ్ళేటప్పుడే.
Okay.
Right? They have also found out the price అప్పుడే, like 1 year ముందే they'll know that they're going to get married. 1 year ముందే, 2 years ముందే they have decided that ఈయనే ఫోటోగ్రఫర్. It is just the matter of okay, all the terms and ఇది కరెక్ట్గా ఉందా, వెళ్ళినా okay, right. It is not something that they decided ఇప్పుడు. They know already that they want to work with us. So, and my point is also they are so educated. So even if when I say what my price is, they're not shocked, they know already. And they have come with an assumption, okay, around that money untadani. So for you also it's the same, they know how much you charge and everything. And it is about okay, ఫైనల్ గా ఏం చెప్తారు, ఏం నెగోసియేషన్ అండ్ అలాగవుతుంది. సో ఇట్స్ ద సేమ్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ద లెవెల్. దట్ ఈస్ మై పాయింట్.
సో ఫ్రమ్ ద టైమ్ మీ కోట్ యాక్సెప్ట్ అయిన దగ్గర నుంచి టిల్ ద డెలివరీ ఆఫ్ ది ఎండ్ ప్రోడక్ట్, వాట్ ఈస్ యూజువల్లీ ద వర్క్ ఫ్లో? బికాస్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్స్కి, పెద్ద ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్స్ అలా వర్క్ ఫ్లోని ఎలా మెయింటైన్ చేస్తారు, అసలు వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాసెస్ అనేది తెలుసుకోవాలని చాలా మందికి ఉంటుంది.
సో you have to attend like a 5 days workshop for this. So you're asking something that has to be explained in over like few hours in just minutes, right? So I'll quickly tell it. First వచ్చి there is no పెద్ద photographers చిన్న photographers అలా అంతా లేదు. And more so in 2024 everything is same. The camera that you're using was anybody is using in this market, including the best of the bestest, is the same kada. Same kada. Yes. The hard disk that you're using is the same. Cards that you're using is the same. Everything is the same. Yes or no? Everything is the same. It's not like okay, 20-25 years back the guy who was earning a lot of money was using something else. The guy who was the beginner in the market was using something else. No, it's all level. Okay, level feel వచ్చింది అన్నీ సేమే. Right? I'm not using something different. I'm not using something the point that I want to put first is for this question is you have to come out of the mindset. Right? వాళ్ళేదో సీక్రెట్ పెట్టుకుంటున్నారు, వాళ్ళేదో చేస్తున్నారు, వాళ్ళేదో వేరేదో సాఫ్ట్వేర్ యూస్ చేస్తున్నారు, వాళ్ళేదో నో, దే జస్ట్ లెర్నింగ్ థింగ్స్, కాన్స్టెంట్లీ లెర్నింగ్, and they are executing it and they are using it properly. That is the only difference, and they are putting more time in it.
Yes.
So the first thing that you do is get out of that mindset that they are doing something very very different, they are doing something secret that we are not doing. Ala kaadu. Only thing is, see, always your work defines who you are. Your only work. If you do, and in 2024 if you do an amazing work, can you hide it somewhere?
No.
You cannot hide it at all.
You tend to showcase it.
KGF editor evaru? Right? He's a college kid. He's a young college kid. Because he was doing amazing work, the director said, okay, I saw your work somewhere. Come, work for me. Right? Even if you want to hide your amazing work, it will come out. So to come back to your question, to give you the straight answer to your question, what is a workflow? See, once the sale is done, once somebody confirms, the first thing that, and the most important thing I urge my team or even me to do is to meet the clients once. So I sit and tell them what are all the things that are included, what are the things not included, what are the things I will do, what are the things they have to get ready. Everything we have to explain them. Nobody reads the contract or nobody reads the terms and conditions, or nobody reads the proposal that we send. They only see the price, okay, price. No. So meeting them and telling them everything is very very important. The second thing is also to meet them so that you won't be a stranger on that day. Right? So meeting is one important aspect of the workflow. Then on the wedding day, you do all the right things. You be on time, you dress well. Like if they say 10 o'clock, be there by 9:30, 9 o'clock. Understand that on the day you are representing an entire community, not only yourself, right? So if you are going as a person, see, when you're going, right, I always tell my team members, when the wedding is over, 10 years later, when they're sitting and seeing those pictures, they should remember, oh, Lakshman came and shot, Gokul came and shot, now she came and shot. They should remember your name, right? You cannot just go shoot and come back like anybody, right? It's not a job. You have to put yourself there. They have to know that you are doing so many things. They have to know that you are doing this with utmost passion. They should remember you by the name when they tell their kids, when they go through this album with their kids like 10 years later, right? That is how you have to do it. So that is what all can you do if that has to happen on the wedding day. That is something that you have to ask yourself, right? What all I have to do? You have to dress properly, you have to be on time, you have to talk to them nicely, you have to behave with them nicely, you have to empathize with them, alaganta, all the right things, right? After the wedding is over, so first, I personally cull my pictures, and everybody in studio culls their own pictures. They have to cull their own pictures and then select the best ones. First send immediately send some nice pictures for the couple so that they can see and all that. Then in 1 month send all the pictures, and then in couple of months send the videos. So this is the workflow.
So usually how many days do you take to deliver the complete output?
See, 15 to 20 days all the pictures goes.
Okay.
2 to 3 months all the videos goes.
సో వాజ్ దేర్ ఏ టైం ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు షూట్ చేసిన డేటా లాస్ అవటం కానీ లేకపోతే కార్డ్ కరప్ట్ అవటం కానీ ఎప్పుడైనా జరిగిందా అలా?
See, the fundamental ఒకే ఒక జాబ్ దా యాజ్ అ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్, నీకు ఒకే ఒక జాబే ఉంది, టు కీప్ ద డేటా సేఫ్. ఇఫ్ యూ కాంట్ డూ దట్ జాబ్, then you should not do photography. Like, sorry I'm saying this because this is a question that many people ask. What do you do? No, the first is prevent. There is the only way, that is the only thing that you can do. You have to prevent in all the cases. So you have to take it very, very seriously. See, 99.99% of the photographers think that photography is taking the camera and shooting, right? The photography doesn't end there. Okay, the photography as an art form itself was started in a way that, okay, aim అవుతుంది, కెమెరా తీసుకొని you have 36 pictures in a film, right? You can only shoot 36. You go shoot 36, come back, then what you do, go to a dark room, put all the chemical composition, develop the pictures. అప్పుడు ఏమైంది, some photographers put the composition differently, came in with different effects. Some photographers put in different chemicals for the sky, different chemicals for the land, did HDR in film itself, right? Like Ansel Adams and all that. So, and then the photos came out. That is when the photography ends. But ఏమైపోయింది తర్వాత, lot of lazy photographers came in, lot of lazy people got into photography, right? They thought that, okay, shoot, give it to the lab will give you the pictures, right? And then the lab business came out. All the labs were only churning out pictures. So ఏమైంది, the photographer did not spend time on editing the pictures. He didn't really, film roll ఇచ్చేస్తే ల్యాబ్లో పిక్చర్స్ ఇచ్చేస్తారని ఒక సిస్టమ్ వచ్చింది. That is because of his laziness. He didn't want to go have the chemicals, he didn't want to have the dark room and all that. So అదే laziness continues after the digital, where you shoot ante అయిపోయింది. It doesn't, the photography doesn't end there. The photography, 50% of your photography ends with the camera, right? The rest you have to go sit with your pictures and do what you thought while you took the picture, right? అప్పుడు డార్క్ రూమ్, ఇప్పుడు లైట్ రూమ్.
Sure.
Okay, after it comes out of the light room only your pictures comes out, right? So in this you are responsible to keep the data, right? Film roll వచ్చి అప్పుడంతా ఎక్స్రే లోపల వెళ్ళకూడదు, యూ షుడ్ నాట్ ఎక్స్పోజ్ ఇట్, ఆల్ దట్ ఈస్ యువర్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ. అలాగే ఇప్పుడు డిజిటల్ ఫైల్స్ వచ్చి ఇట్స్ యువర్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ until it comes out of the computer as a photograph. It is your photography, that is your photography. If you come and say నేను వచ్చి డేటా లాస్ చేస్తున్నాను, డేటా లాస్ అయిపోతే ఏం చేసేది అంతే, then you should not even do it, right? But what you do when you data loss, obviously there are softwares and all the things that might work, might not work. It is not in your hands. And obviously you have to go through all the stress of spending so much money, spending so much unnecessary time. Idantha cheyaniki be responsible, have more cards, have responsible ga, if you shoot something on that day, go copy it multiple times, buy more hard disk. All these things is what you have to do, and you know the answer, right? And this is the only job as a photographer. This is the basic requirement for you. And if you come and say I will not do the basic requirement, then you should not even do this.
True.
Right? So prevent. In all cases, prevent by buying the equipments, prevent by buying the storage, prevent by being disciplined, prevent by being careful and aware. Prevent is a is the thing that I can say.
So the world is changing rapidly. Smartphones are becoming smarter day by day. So what advantage does a photographer in the current market has with respect to the rise in AI as well? So what do you think is the role of a photographer in the current market?
See, Tarun, what is the biggest job of technology, do you think?
To reduce the human effort?
Right.
Yeah.
So to basically make them stupid. Right? సో ఇప్పుడు వచ్చి 1960s కార్ తోలుతారు కదా, ద పీపుల్ హూ డ్రైవ్ కార్స్ ఇన్ 1960s, దిల్ నో హౌ టు ప్యారల్ పార్క్ సో బ్యూటిఫుల్లీ. అది ఒక ఆర్ట్ లాగా వాళ్ళు స్టీరింగ్ వీల్ ఇలా చేసే అలా ప్యారల్ పార్క్ చేసేటప్పుడు చూడడానికి బాగుంటుంది. ఓకే, ద వే దే ఆర్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్ థింగ్స్, రైట్? Now you have rear camera, indicators, all the systems, 360-degree camera, everything. How many people know to parallel park?
Without all this?
Even with all this,
okay,
people can't parallel park.
Yeah.
Right? Lot of people cannot parallel park. So basically all the system is actually making you dumb. Right? ఇప్పుడు my parents, if they go to a grocery store, they would buy thing. Both the grocery guy who was selling and my parents used to do the math in their mind and get the right change. And right now, if you go to grocery store, nobody can do the math. They have to put it in the computer. Like 500 rupees, 340 rupees, balance 160 rupees, and they have to put it in the machine and only understand. Right? True. So it is making people more and more dumber. So it is a great thing. Why? All the good people who are doing amazing work will become a rarity. And when you become a rare thing, you become amazing. You become pricey. You become the most wanted, right? So it's a very good thing, if you ask me personally. Second thing is, see, కొత్తగా పెన్ వచ్చింది, సో ఎలాగుంటుంది రైటర్స్కి, how will the writers world will change అని అడిగేలాగది ఒక క్వశ్చన్, రైట్? ఆల్ దీస్ ఆర్ న్యూ టెక్నాలజీ, న్యూ కాంపనెంట్స్, న్యూ థింగ్స్ టు యాడ్ టు యువర్ థింగ్. ఇఫ్ యూ కీప్ ఆన్ సేయింగ్ ఈ టెక్నాలజీ వచ్చింది, సో ఇంకా మీద థ్రెట్ మనకి, ఇఫ్ యూ అప్రోచ్ ఇట్ లైక్ దట్, యూ విల్ బికమ్ ఇన్విజిబుల్. బికాస్ ద జాబ్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ దిస్ కమింగ్ ఈస్ టు త్రో అవుట్ ద మీడియాకర్ పీపుల్. The job of AI, the job of new cameras, the job of new technology, all that is ఊరికే లేజీగా ఆర్ ఊరికే మీడియాకర్ వర్క్ చేసే వాళ్ళని త్రో చేయడానికి ఇదంతా వస్తుంది, రైట్? సో ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ సీయింగ్ దట్ యాజ్ అ థ్రెట్, సీ హౌ యూ కెన్ ఎంబ్రేస్ ఇట్, హౌ యూ కెన్ లెర్న్. ఏ అంటే ఏంటిది అని ఏ వచ్చేస్తుంది అలాగే చెప్పకుండా, ఏ అంటే ఏంటిది, ఈరోజు కూర్చొని నేను చదువుతాను, ఏ ద్వారా ఏమేమి చేయొచ్చు, నేను అది ఎలాగ నాకు అప్లై చేసుకోవచ్చు, నా వర్క్ ఫ్లోలో ఎలాగ అప్లై చేయొచ్చు, అలా చదివితే దెన్ యూ గో టు ద నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్. ఏ వచ్చింది, స్మార్ట్ కెమెరా బాగుంది, అందరూ ఫోటోగ్రఫీ తీస్తున్నారు, దెన్ యా ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఎస్, అది నీకోసమే వచ్చింది, అదంతా నేను త్రో చేయడానికి వచ్చింది కదా. సో వెన్ సంథింగ్ కమ్స్, ఇప్పుడు 2003-4లో వచ్చి డిజిటల్ కెమెరాస్ కమింగ్, రైట్? సో ఆల్ ద మెనీ ఫిల్మ్ పీపుల్ దే సెడ్ this is a threat, this is not photography, this is not real photography, film మే రియల్, ఇది వచ్చి ఏమీ లేదు, అలాగా చాలామంది చెప్పి దే డిడ్ంట్ చేంజ్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్. అలాగా ఫేస్బుక్ వచ్చేటప్పుడు people all said ఎందుకు ఇదంతా, I can't get into Facebook, I don't want. సో ఫేస్బుక్ నుంచి ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ వచ్చేటప్పుడు, ఫేస్బుక్లో చాలా మంది పాపులర్ పీపుల్ ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళు వచ్చి ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ ఐఎమ్ గుడ్ ఎట్ ఫేస్బుక్, ఇదా నాకు వస్తుంది. సో దేర్ ఇన్ ఎవాల్వ్, రైట్? సో అలాగా లైక్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్, AI is also another new thing that is coming. So instead of being scared or instead of being cynical about it, try to learn what is it, how can you use it, and then use it to make your job better.
సో దెర్ ఆర్ టైమ్స్ వెన్ బ్రైడ్ వాళ్ళు ఒక డిఫరెంట్ టీమ్ని బుక్ చేసుకుంటారు, గ్రూమ్ ఒక డిఫరెంట్ టీమ్ ఆఫ్ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్స్ని బుక్ చేసుకుంటారు. దెర్ ఆర్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఫోటోగ్రఫర్స్ ఆన్ ద స్టేజ్ అండ్ డస్ ఇట్ క్రియేట్ కేయోస్?
The best thing to do for a client is to only hire one photography team, because they can save money, they can save the chaos, they can save a lot of time, all this, right? But see, understand, when you are a wedding photographer, it is not about you. On the day, it is not about you at all. It is about the client. Okay, you go there, the client has hired sometime 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams. Your job is not to complain about it, right? You cannot. You've already told them not to do it, but they are doing it because they want to spend more money, they want to have everything that they want, all that. You can't complain anything, or you don't have control about it, right? So the best thing for you, in fact, I feel it's an amazing thing. Instead of my team only getting food in the plate, now 4 teams are getting food in the plate. You cannot say because 2 teams are there, I will not perform. Because decor is not right, I will not perform. Because mandapam chinnaga undi, I will not perform. Because మీరు బీచ్లో పెట్టారు, నైట్లో పెట్టారు, I can't perform. ఇదంతా ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ అంతా లేదు. I will be able to deliver it no matter what. Okay, that is why I am hired. ఎలాగన్నా ఉన్ని, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద సిచ్యువేషన్ ఇస్, యూ విల్ డెలివర్ అనిదా నాకు డబ్బులు ఇస్తున్నారు. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ యువర్ జాబ్. ఐ విల్ ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ పోజ్ ద కపుల్ అండ్ సే, వచ్చి తీసుకోండి రా, అందరు తీసుకోండి, ఫొటోస్ తీసుకోండి. ఐ విల్ ఆల్సో టేక్. సో దెర్ విల్ బి 2 people on top, 2 people on bottom, everybody. But I know I will do something little different, which will be so different from everybody else. Okay, so different from everybody else. And I know the couple will like my picture only. Okay, I operate in that confidence. I operate, and that is my job. That is why they are hiring me. Condition elagana unni, you have to. So I cannot go to a client and say, hey, always take me to Iceland or Greece, then only I will give you amazing pictures. Take me to a street next door. Take me to your street or your home. Wherever you take me, I will give you amazing pictures. Okay, I cannot go and say because their client is taking them to Iceland, he is doing better pictures. Ala kadu. You have to do better pictures anywhere. Even if it's on your own street, you have to do amazing pictures. Then somebody who can afford Iceland will take you there. Oh, ee street lone inta baga teestunadu, Iceland lo anta baga teestadu ani. Understand what I mean? Understand. So that is your job, to do amazing work, whatever the condition may be. Whether more photographers are there, whether you are in a bad mandapam, whether the decor is not good, whether the makeup is not good, whether you are in the middle of a street, in the hot sun, you have to deliver amazing pictures. For that, what you have to do? You have to equip yourself in such a way that whatever the condition may be, I will deliver. How many there? Even though 10 people are there, I will do amazing work. That is how you have to change.
Do you think the photographers who are investing so much on their equipments get the ROI they with respect to the current market?
See, how... Okay, I'll ask you this question. The work that you're doing right now, can you do the same work with a camera that you had 3 years ago? So it is a question that individual people should ask. Why am I getting? So what is that new thing that I'm going to do that I couldn't have done with the camera that I have, so I can buy a new camera? In most of the cases, they don't know. They're just getting it because somebody else is getting it. They're just getting it because they have the pressure. They're just getting it because they feel inferior with this camera, right? So why would I buy a new camera, right? One, I have made enough money with the existing camera that I have that I can afford comfortably a new camera. Right? Or I'm getting some feature in this new camera that I would die for, that I'm like, oh, missing so much, that I want a new camera. Right? If I don't have these two, I will not. So what will I do? I will work really, really hard with the camera that I have right now to make enough money to spend for my life, and then have that extra money where I can afford a new camera. In that process, I will really, really push myself and know what is in this camera, what is not in this camera, what is the thing that I'm going to get with this new camera, and then I'll buy it. Otherwise, I'll not buy it. So it is not up to me to tell will I get an ROI, will I get a not an ROI for somebody else. But for me, I know that I have used it enough in such a way that I made enough money to run my lifestyle and also to afford the new camera. Until I have not done that, I will not go buy a new camera. So in fact, I bought my first full frame camera 3 years after I came into wedding photography. When I know I have made enough money that I can comfortably go buy a new full frame camera. Until the first 3 years, I was only using crop sensor cameras. With that crop sensors, I've used it so much so that I made enough money, and I also know now for the things that I want to do, I need a full frame camera. So after 3 years only I got it.
మీరు అట్లనే చెప్తారా మరి? మీరు 3 years పాత కెమెరా కూడా నేను ఇప్పుడు వాడచ్చు, లేకపోతే ఇప్పుడు నేను అడ్వాన్స్ కొనాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, సేమ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ఇస్తాను, ఆ వై అనే క్వశ్చన్ అడగమని చెప్తారు. పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే దేర్ ఆర్ ఎ ఫ్రీలాన్సర్స్ ఇన్ ద మార్కెట్. వాళ్ళకి పాత ఎక్విప్మెంట్ తీసుకుని వెళ్తే కనుక వాళ్ళకి దే ఆర్ నాట్ బీయింగ్ హైర్డ్. సో హౌ డూ యూ ఆన్సర్ దట్? ఇప్పుడు నేను 3 years బ్యాక్ ఓల్డ్ కెమెరా నేను తీసుకుని ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ ఛార్జింగ్ ద సేమ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ, నాకు సమ్వన్ ఎల్స్ ఈజ్ నాట్ హైరింగ్ మీ యాజ్ ఎ ఫ్రీలాన్సర్.
ఫస్ట్ వచ్చి మీ క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చి ఐ వాంట్ కరెక్ట్ ఇట్. Understand, I didn't say don't buy the camera. I wouldn't say that. I am a Sony Brand Ambassador. Come on. I want more people to buy camera through me because I said more people should buy cameras. What I said is buy a camera when you have made enough money with the existing camera, that you have enough money in your bank account that you can pay for the camera. And buy a camera when you know that the new camera is going to do something that your existing camera is not going to do. Learn that and then buy it. Right? That is what I said. Now, if you come and ask me, hey, I am a freelancer, I am having an old camera, but the person who wants to hire me is not hiring me. Right? So, my answer is, if your work is so good, so good, if you are somebody who is so good to work with, you give an aura, you give an energy that you are like so good to work with. నిన్ను తీసుకెళ్తే చాలా బాగుంది వర్క్ చేయడానికి నాకు, you are like such a nice guy to be with, right? And you are so disciplined. You said you will come, you are a freelancer, you're a freelancer, you said to the boss that you will come at 4 o'clock and you're not turning up at 6 o'clock. And the boss is not calling 10 times, ekkadunnao, right? You go at 3 o'clock, dressed well, behave well, right? Then the boss, will he ever ask you what camera are you using? Will he ever ask you?
No.
He will not ask at all. He will not ask at all. Now what you're doing is you're putting your worth on all the other things. Your worth is not what you have. Your worth is your work, right? If you do amazing pictures, if you post it rightly, maintain your Instagram properly with right pictures, follow it nicely, and then if you are this amazing person to work with, nobody will care. In fact, he will give his camera and ask you to work. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In fact, he will give you 5,000 more and say, hey, నేను ఇది ఇస్తాను, నువ్వు నాకు మాత్రం చేయి, ఎవరికి చేయక అంటావా లేదా?
Yeah, absolutely.
సో ఫిక్స్ దట్, నాట్ ఫిక్స్ ద కెమెరా.
సో యాజ్ ఎ ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్ మీరు వర్క్ లైఫ్ బౌండరీస్ ఎలా సెట్ చేసుకుంటారు?
Work life boundaries, honestly I don't have boundaries at all. There's no boundary అస్సలు లేదు. Work life balance, work life, everything is photography for me. What I talk, what I sleep, what I dream, what I do, everything is photography to me. There is no other thing that I would rather do And I don't feel balance anta vachi you cannot plan or do. You just have to do everything. And I operate with the mindset that I have time for everything. I have time for work. I have time for life. I have time for my personal things that I want to do. I have time for my family. Alaga. I mix everything, and everything is one for me. Life is not like work is not different. Personal life is not different. Everything is not. It's all one and the same. So I just do everything.
Do you consume alcohol in a wedding?
That's a good question. See, like I said, whenever I'm walking into a wedding thing, right? My first thing is I have to be a friend to the bride and groom. Okay. వాళ్ళతో చాలా క్లోజ్గా ఉండాలి. I have to shoot the wedding like a brother would shoot or a friend would shoot. అప్పుడే వచ్చి I will get nice pictures. I can put them to ease. I'll get the poses that I want and all that. So I'm literally becoming a friend in terms of how I dress myself, in terms of how I behave myself, in terms of how I speak to them and all that. And then we also happen to attend the biggest parties and biggest parties, right? So people always would say, enough, Amar, you're done, come hang out and come, let's have a drink or something like that, right? Not only me, I tell my team that is a definite no. For others it is a party, for us it is work. Right? Will you have if you are working in an IT company, will you have alcohol at workplace? No, we won't. So it is a workplace for us. So it is a definite no. Even if they push, even if they compel, even if they say in all the sweet thing, we would never. And I tell the same thing to the team. It's a non-negotiable thing at all. It's a non-negotiable thing at all. So definitely no. For the fact that I represent not only me, not only my studio, I represent an entire fraternity of wedding photographers. So it is very, very important.
So do you think photography should be treated as a business or an art, a profession?
So it is none of the three for me. It is the purpose. This is why I was born for. This is what I was born to do. Right? It is neither my hobby, neither my business, neither my profession. It is my purpose. I was born to do this, and I'll keep doing it until it makes me super duper happy. So every day it makes me like super duper happy being a photographer. So until that carries forward, I will keep doing it. I don't see it as a business. I don't see it as a thing. It is me. Photography and me are one in one, right? That is how I see. So I'll be doing it.
Imagine if not photography, what would Amar Ramesh have been?
Amar Ramesh will always be Amar Ramesh. Right? Today Amar Ramesh is a photographer. 10 years before, Amar Ramesh is an IT guy. 10 years from now, Amar Ramesh doesn't know what it is, what he is going to be. But Amar Ramesh is always Amar Ramesh. So I'm actually working on Amar Ramesh, not the photographer, not the IT guy, not the person that I'm going to be. Whatever I do, I will do it really, really well because I'm evolving as Amar Ramesh. Right? So if not photography, if photography, it is all the same. So if you become a better human, you can be a better photographer, you can be a better designer, you can be a better carpenter, you can be better anything. So every day I'm asking myself, how am I a better human compared to yesterday? That is what I'm working towards also.
So one thing that I've learned from the way you work is you give credit to all your team members. If Amar Ramesh shot that video, you give Amar Ramesh in the credits. If Selva Tippu shot, you give Selva Tippu. If it is edited by Lucky Cluster, you give Lucky Cluster in the edit. So you have the habit of tagging everyone who's involved in that particular photo, in the process of making that photo. You give credits to everyone, right? So that one thing I've learned from you, and I started implementing right after I learned that from you. Because there are people, for instance, if I shoot a wedding, I have 10 members team. Any person who does that amazing work, I take that photo, I tag my company name. I do not give credits to the other freelancers or other team members. So how did you learn that, and how do you do so?
Um, so where did I learn it from? I learned it from A.R. Rahman. I love A.R. Rahman and I love his songs and all that. So from the first song, he gives credit to everyone, right? So I learned it from him. So that is where. The second thing is, see, if I'm running a team, what is the one thing that I can do for them? First, pay proper salaries, right? That is the first thing. After a while, will salary motivate them?
No.
No. They need fame also, right? I cannot take all the fame, right? So they need fame also. And it is their work. And it has to be credited. And the third thing is, see, by doing that, what is happening now? You're actually telling all the names of my team members. How many photography companies in India where you can tell the team members' name? How many?
Very few. You can just count on fingers.
Yeah. Not very few, one or two maybe.
One or two maybe. Yeah.
Right? Where you can tell the people's name inside, right? In fact, the clients come and say, I want this person and that person from your team, right? They know the team member's name, right? By doing all this, do I become smaller? Right? If somebody wants to leave me and go and grow, it is a good thing for me. If he has grown bigger than me, right? I would say, see, my person, he has grown bigger than me. Now you pay me more.
That's a nice thought.
Right? So, and can you control if somebody is leaving you or no, you cannot control. I left somebody, I was working for an IT company, right? I left someone and started it. So if somebody is working for me and if they want to leave, they are welcome to leave, right? But what is the right thing to do? And why did I come into photography? Right? I wanted to have fun. I wanted to do this happily. Why would I put all this unnecessary pressure, tension, stress, and bad energies also? If I'm having somebody and he's doing a wonderful work, I should put his name, right? And if I put this in my studio name or if I put in my name and say, right, I am actually taking bad energies and that bad energies will not last a long time, right? It'll work for a few months or years, but will it last longer? No, it won't. And as a leader, if you're running a team, you should be so secure in your place, right? You should be so secure. If you're insecure that somebody is going to become better or become bigger or somebody is going to take all your name, all that, you should not be a leader for that. You should go do something else that makes you happy, right? So I want to do photography because photography gives me happiness. So would I add all these things and make my life miserable? No, I don't want to do it. Would I add bad energies to my work? No, I want to do it. I don't want to do it. So that is why I want to give them the credits.
మీ టీంలో ఉన్న ప్రతి ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్కి యూ అలౌ దెమ్ టు అప్లోడ్ దేర్ ఫొటోస్ ఆన్ దేర్ ఓన్ పర్సనల్ టైమ్ లైన్ అండ్ దే క్రెడిట్ బ్యాక్ టు యూ. సో దేర్ ఆర్ అ కపుల్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడియోస్ ఆర్ కపుల్ ఆఫ్ ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్స్ ఇన్ ద మార్కెట్ హూ సెడ్ ఇది నా ప్రాపర్టీనే, ఇది నేను మాత్రమే పెట్టుకోవాలి, యూ ఆర్ నాట్ అలౌడ్ టు పోస్ట్ దిస్. అలా చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. లైక్ వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సే అబౌట్ ఇట్?
See, I don't see a point. I don't see a point in that. If, like I said, if somebody is growing under your thing, growing in your team, you have to give them the path to grow, right? And if he is getting better than you, it is something good for you, right? It is not something bad for you, right? And then see, if let's say by putting their name, other companies will see their name, they will go contact them and all that, right? But I ask that question, if I'm not so good enough that he wants to leave me, then the problem is not him, the problem is me, right? I should give him an amazing space to work for, I should give him the amazing environment to work for, I should properly pay him. I should be a person that he wants to be with, right? If he's leaving, right, then I am not doing any of like one or two of this, right? So I'll have to fix that, and that is how I become a better leader, right? And many in my team would definitely get more money outside also, right? But they are not working only for that. They are also working because they want to work with me. And that is why you see Lakshman is with me for 14 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Vivi is with me for 13 years. Gokul is with me for 11 years. Ram is with me for 12 years. All these people, yeah, definitely some out there might pay them more, right? But they also like working with me. And you have to fix that, not fix how are they posting, how are they crediting, who are they talking to, and all that. All this is immaterial. If you're not a person who they are inspired to work for, then you are the problem, not them. They will want better options and they will want better people to work with. They will want better places to work for. They will want better salaries to make, right? Because you are also that person. You are also that person who wanted to do something in your life, and that is why you started the business. So rather worrying about all this, work on yourself. Be that amazing leader that you have to be. Be that amazing inspirer that you have to be. Be the hard worker more than them. Like, you should be the most hardworking person in your team. Then all this is immaterial. They can post it, they don't have to post it. They can post it with their name. They can tag me, they don't have to tag me. Nothing will it'll all become immaterial.
How does a photographer market himself?
First, do good work. First, become better at that work. And also, after taking just a few months of photography, just don't
I've learned everything. I've known everything.
Yeah. So keep learning, right? And then the show your work. That is the next thing that you have to do. Once you have done the work, show your work. Show it consistently. Put a post every day. Put a post at least 2 days once. Be consistent in that. And go talk to more people, right? And if you are already shooting a wedding, you are actually in the market of thousands of people. Your market is directly there, right? Go talk to people. Go see, can you build an aura around yourself where people want to come ask you, hey, where are you from? Like, who are you? What is your name? Can I get your card? Can you build a aura? Right?
Yes.
That is your marketing, if you ask me. Right? It is not the Instagram ads, this is not the Facebook ads that you want to do. So if we can do that, you get more clients. You get more people wanting to work with you. If you can make your clients feel that you're amazing to work with, they will become your marketing agents, right?
True.
They will go tell others, hey, no matter what, hire this guy. Close your eyes and hire this guy. And that is what you have to do.
I've seen your earlier videos where you watch for books. Basically, I'm not a book reader. So how is it important that a photographer should keep reading a lot of books and all? Sorry.
See, I love books. It's not that I used to read a lot of books when I was in school and college. It's not like that. I only read whatever was in schools and college. Later in my life, I fell in love with reading books. And now I'm super passionate about books. Right? Is it important to for a photographer to read books? Yeah, it is very, very important. Right? But if you're not somebody who can read books, I would say don't read books. Go through the books. And in fact, for a photographer, you don't have to read. You just have to go through. Like, if you sit with a Raghurai book or a Steve McCurry book or a Sebastian's book, just going through the book for half an hour will make you a better photographer compared to what you were just an half an hour ago. Right? Just 30 minutes, you can become a better photographer. Right? So just go through books. And also, how many years will you keep saying, yeah, I'm not a book reader, I don't like to read books, right? If you want to grow, you have to become uncomfortable, right? Growth happens when you put yourself in the uncomfortable stage.
When you come out of your comfort zone.
Yes. So instead of saying, I can't read books, find ways to read books. Make it, enjoyable. Say, I can't read books too. Books put me to sleep. So I use Audible, like I use audiobooks to read the books. So find ways, or tell yourself I only read 2 pages per day, right? 2 pages is not a big deal. Just start reading it. Okay, what are the other ways? If you cannot educate yourself by reading books, then go educate yourself finding other ways. Find a mentor, find a person who can give you a lot of people, a lot of thoughts, or a lot of education. So find places where you can get, travel to places where you can find education, right? So instead of doing all this, the easiest thing to do is to get the books, because a book is basically a knowledge from so many people put together, compiled in one. And if you have 10 books, it's like getting knowledge from 10 people of their entire life experiences, right? So it's the best thing to do. So develop a lust for books. Not only love, you have to develop a lust for books, and you will see a great improvement.
That's pretty impressive. So Amar, do you think age really matters in photography? For someone who is in their 40s or 50s, do you think they can give the same amount of creativity or same amount of productivity in their 40s and 50s?
Ragura is 80, 84 or something, 80 plus. And he's doing some fabulous work. In fact, he's more creative now than what he was. And I feel age only makes it better and bigger. And I think creativity also improves a lot. See, for somebody to become better in terms of creativity, it doesn't depend on the age, right? It depends on how willing they are to learn new things, how willing are they to evolve themselves, how willing they are to go deeper inside themselves and become better, right? So just by doing photography for so many years, it doesn't mean that you will become creative. Or just by doing photography for just few years, it's not like you are not creative.
Gained enough experience,
right? And also the thought of young people are more creative than older people itself is wrong, I feel. There are creative people who are young, and there are non-creative people who are young. There are creative people who are old, there are non-creative people who are old, right? So it depends on the person. If the person is evolutionary, if the person keeps on learning, if the person keeps on trying new things, as they age, they become super duper creative. In fact, as you age, you have more freedom in terms of financially, in terms of access. So you can be more creative if you're somebody who is willing to evolve, if you are somebody who is becoming better. So it depends on that rather than the age.
So one advice that you would want to give it to someone who wants to start his career in photography?
So the biggest thing is, I would start with why, right? Anything. If you want to get into photography, or if you want to get into design, if you want to get into some other profession, you ask yourself why you want to, right? What is that makes you want to get into this? Is it because you're super passionate about it? Is it because you think that you can make money out of this? What is your why? Why you want to become that photographer, or that designer, or that carpenter, or that plumber, or whatever? Why do you want to do it? And the second question is, are you good at it? Right? If you're not good at it, can you become good at it? Right? And then the third question is, do people like it? I think I'm good at it, but are people liking it? So what do you do? If you want to become a baker, you make some cakes, you make some puffs and eat it yourself. If you like it, what you do, you give it to your parents, or you give it to your family. If they like it, give it to your friends. If they like it, give it to friends. If they like it, ask them money. Will they pay for it? They should like it so much that they should say, yeah, I'll pay for it. Then you'll know, okay, how much it costs for a raw material, how much it costs for the flour, how much it costs for the oil, how much it costs for baking and everything, how much it costs, then I'm making this much. Is it making a feasible business? Is it a viable business? So what you like to do, are you good at it? People willing to pay money for it? Then you find, okay, this is what my purpose is, this is what my passion is. So this is what ikigai is, right? So until you find that, that is the first thing that you find, then get into whatever you want to do. It could be photography, it could be anything. So that is what you have to do. So that'll be my advice.
An advice for someone who's already there in photography for years and has not created a mark, what would you suggest him?
So ask yourself, how many years are you into this, right? Ask yourself, how are you better, right? Let's say in 2024, you are asking this question to yourself. Ask yourself, compared to the 2020 version of me, how is this 2024 version better? What have I done better? Does the world know that I am better? Right? You can say I become this, I become that, I'm doing quality work, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, right? But the world, does the world see that difference? Does the world feel the difference from you, right? If not, make that happen, right? What are the books that you have read between 2020 to 2024? What are the people that you have met who were amazing mentors for you between these years? What are the new things that you have tried? What are the new shoots you have done? All these are the questions that you have to ask. If you feel that you have not made a mark, then those questions will tell you why you have not made a mark, right? So you change yourself. So instead of putting the complaints over outside, put the complaint within you. Go search inside you. Then you'll know why you have not made the mark.
So thank you so much for sharing some valuable insights, Amar. It was pleasure to have you here.
So thank you so much. It was a wonderful experience, and thank you for your hospitality and everything. It is lovely. I hope this podcast reaches more people, and someone somewhere outside there gets touched by this and get inspired and does at least a few changes in their life. I'll be really happy. I'm a freelancer, right? People are not hiring me because I have a older camera.
మీరే క్వశ్చన్ అని మీరే ఆన్సర్ చెప్పినట్టు
అది కూడా నేను చెప్పు.
అంటే అంత మంచిగా మళ్ళీ అడగలేదు.
LAZY అంటారు తెలుసా? Dude, I can talk about anything. You would have already guessed. I can talk about anything. You ask.
But I'm in a position that I cannot ask anything.
Hey, ఇంకమ్మా ఎందుకురా నన్ను ప్రాబ్లంలో పడుతున్నారు? ఆల్రెడీ చాలా క్వశ్చన్ ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది. సోనీ కాల్ చేసి ఎందుకు సోనీ గురించి మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటారు?
విరాట్ అనుష్క వెడ్డింగ్ ఎవరు షూట్ చేశారు?
ఇది వద్దు.
And guys, it is not easy to get Amar Ramesh here in his busy schedule. I thank you so much, Amar, for
Hey, what is this? You're sending a rumor that I am busy and all. I'm not at all busy. Please, like I said, I have time for everything.
ఇందాకది కట్ చేసుకున్నాం. అది సో పిలవంగానే వచ్చేసారు అసలు అమర్.